What is going on, everyone? It is just like that. We are 3 days out from running our first 26.2 mile marathon. So I just wanted to make this quick video doing a little bit of rapid fire Q&A, the things that I've been most commonly asked over the course of this process, and my final thoughts leading into race day. 3 days out. Let's get into the video. Okay, so question number one, am I nervous going into this race? No. So I wouldn't say nervous is really the most appropriate way to describe how I'm feeling. Do I have some nerves? Yes. It's kind of like anything that you're undergoing for the very first time. It's a very similar feeling before stepping on stage, those days leading up to that competition day. It's a very similar feeling, but at the same time different, because this is essentially a new stage that I'm stepping on. This is a competition based on legitimate physical performance. Like, the outcome is directly relative to my fitness capacity. So it's very different in that regard. But yes, I do have some feelings, like it just feels more real. That's the best way to describe it. It feels very real. Like, you just start replaying the whole process of like, wow, we started this 3 months ago and the day is almost here. Like, all the hours put in, the days, the weeks, the miles of just weekly volume and training. Yeah, it's a lot. And so that's the kind of stuff that you start replaying. But no, if anything, I am so excited. I cannot wait to get to the starting line. It's something that I've just been itching to do, talking about with friends, family. I couldn't be more excited. So no, I'm not nervous. I'm just incredibly pumped to get to race day. Out of the most substantial physical changes that I've experienced over the course of this running journey, it would just be that this is legitimately the most fit I've ever been in my entire life. One of the biggest testaments to that is where my resting heart rate is now. So now we're hanging out low 40s to mid 40s. And also, when I do an intense bout of physical activity, my heart rate returns back to a normal level very quickly. So that's been one of the most substantial changes that I've noticed, but also just from a body composition standpoint. And y'all, this is not tooting my own horn or boasting or anything like that, but legitimately, in terms of physique, I could probably step on stage, or I would be like a couple weeks out from stage ready body fat percentage. So that's one thing that I've really noticed is huge. With this amount of cardio and the amount of calories I'm burning, and also the amount of calories that I'm consuming to offset that energy expenditure, I've been able to hold on to a lot of muscle density, a lot more than anticipated throughout the course of this running journey, simply because I've still been lifting. Yes, I've adjusted, I've lost a little bit of strength. I'm not really training for power and strength right now. That's not my focus. Endurance and building up that aerobic capacity, that's been my priority. But I will say, because I'm burning so many calories and I'm ingesting so many calories, roughly mid 3,000s, that's just like an average day that I'm consuming, and I'm burning 1,500 to 2,000 per day and lifting. Yeah, so after the initial weight loss that I experienced in the first month or so, where my weight definitely dropped because of all the cardio, we kept lifting, we started to normalize, get the metabolism back in check, and get to a more of a maintenance level. And so that's where we're at. But like I said, this has been the most physically demanding undertaking, and I've never been more actually truly fit in my entire life. How have I stayed motivated throughout this process, especially on the days where I just straight up am not feeling it? I've said this on a few podcast features as well that I've done here recently, but I haven't really needed motivation for this one reason. And I constantly replay this thought in my head, but this is your only shot to get to do what you want to do. And the fact that I can go run just by choice, that's a privilege. Putting myself through that bit of suffering, for the betterment that's ahead of that, breaking past that point, that's a privilege. Like, I get to do that. So the fact that I'm able to choose a free will, I have the resources to be able to do so, I just replay that, especially when I'm in the run itself and it really starts to suck and my legs are hurting and all I want to do is stop. I flip that switch and I'm like, Copernicus, you get to do this, right? Not everybody gets the chance to do this. So that's one of the main thoughts that keeps me motivated per se. But that's why when I wake up, I don't really need the motivation to go do it, because I set out to do something. And I've talked about this definitely in a recent video, but when you set out to do something, you commit to the entirety of that process, not just the high points when you're feeling good and when you feel like doing something. No, like the times when you don't feel like doing it, you muster up that nerve, that courage, and you buck up and you say, all right, get out of your head, stop being a little bitch about it. Yeah, those are the moments that actually mold you and shape you as a person and as a character in general. So that would be my motivation, is the fact that this is your one shot. This is a privilege. We are blessed to be able to move. I can't reiterate that point enough. Any type of movement, physical activity in general, that is a blessing. And so I always remind myself of that. And yeah, that's been one of my biggest reasons to just stay motivated throughout this entire process, no matter what point I'm in, especially now, 3 days out. I can sum this up in one word: yes. But I will elaborate a little bit further. Yes, I will absolutely continue running after this marathon. I've just fallen in love with the sport, the activity itself, and just the whole nature and premise behind it. The whole mentality that you develop and the perspective, the just sheer grit that you have to go through, and the amount of growth that you experience once you get through that grit, unparalleled. It's unlike anything that I've ever experienced before. And so yes, I freaking love that feeling now. Pushing yourself to that limitation, that boundary that was preconceived, something that you never thought you could have done before until you actually do it, and then you realize that it's possible. I've gained that through running, and yes, I will absolutely continue running after the marathon. Last up, probably one of the most commonly asked questions: what's next for Copernicus? I don't know. I don't have a definitive answer for that. There will be something. I just don't know what. I'm already thinking, brainstorming for 2021, but for right now, my sole focus and attention is devoted to this upcoming Sunday, October 18th, 7:30 a.m. That's when our race officially begins. Everything that we have poured into this process, we can now exhibit on race day, and it's crazy how quick that it's come. But well, I shared it on an Instagram post. It's amazing how quickly this day is arriving, but at the same time, this whole process has just seemed, you've had to be very patient. That's what I've really established over the course of this. You've had to be patient with this process and know that every single day, every workout, every variable, nutrition and training wise, mattered. So although I was patient, it's been a complete blur at the same time as well, the fact that we're 3 days out. So yeah, in terms of what's next, I can't give a definitive answer. I don't have anything right now, but there's definitely some stuff in the pipeline. So just stay tuned, y'all. It's gonna be fun. I can guarantee that it's gonna be fun. But yeah, so those are the main questions. And next time you'll see me, we'll be getting ready to head to our Airbnb, go pick up our race packet and everything. And before you know it, we will be there at the race venue in Crandall, Georgia at the Cohutta Springs Resort, which the venue looks absolutely amazing, by the way. So I can't wait to just show you all around and yeah, take you guys along with me. So yeah, next time you see me, we'll be heading down to Georgia. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope this answered a couple of your questions that have been primarily asked towards me. And with that said, stay true to you, do more. If you enjoyed the video, smash the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you guys soon. Take care.
Lay me down to rest. I know